Oh, good morning, Mary. How are you doing? I have the tailspin song stuck in my head. Or the tailspin opening theme. I think that's too much juice, actually. But we'll have to make it work. That baby was loose. I want to know who made all of the Rescue Rangers and the Tailspin and the DuckTales songs. Because they sound like they were made by the same people, but I also don't want to believe that. I don't want to believe that that's true. Ooh. Today's looks particularly creamy. Since I don't actually measure how much of each fruit I'm putting in, the mix is always slightly different, you know? It doesn't matter, all I need is a straw. Yeah, that tastes different. No complaint. No complaint, though. Oh boy. Can I get the angle right? Wow, I have not been very on top. Anywho, thank you everybody for being in Morning Medley number 107. Today I started actually a little early because I was in the kitchen and I was making a smoothie, and I felt like that's nice. I felt like if I started making the smoothie, I would miss the stream time, so I started it a little early. So I apologize for everybody that likes to join and immediately hear music. I was a little behind schedule today. I am going to quickly run to the living room to grab my laptop charger. Okay, perfect. Alright, how's everybody's morning? Let's go in an orderly fashion. Hopefully I can get in everybody's. Good morning, by the way, Toast. Welcome. Curse missed some of the streams, no worries. Maddie's having a sleepy morning. Me too, Maddie. Oh, me too. Or at least I was having a sleepy morning. Aria is grocery shopping. Is Aria Izzy? Did I finally remember the association? Izzy perhaps is grocery shopping, but is about to be home soon. I was thinking about buying a piano, but I have a budget, says Toast. Ooh, that's fascinating. We might be able to spend some time there. Were you thinking about buying a piano? Oh, the parrots are back. Were you thinking about buying a piano, or were you thinking about buying a keyboard? This is an important distinction to make. I've been apocalypse cooking, aka meal prepping, says Aaron. Keyboard, my bad, says Toast. Okay, so Toast is looking to buy a keyboard, but they have a budget. If you don't mind me asking, Toast, what is the budget? Roughly. Give me a ballpark. Actually, give me like a basketball court. Give me something a little slightly more specific. I'm glad that Izzy remembers my Mamaha joke. Anywho, enough random improv. This song is called Love Letters. Around $100. I don't mind it being used. Okay, well, I'm glad you said that, Toast. You don't mind the keyboard being used, because if you have $100, used might be the best case scenario for you. Check Craigslist. I don't know what kind of city you live in. I live in Los Angeles, so musical instruments, they pop up on Craigslist quite often. It's pretty easy to find a keyboard or a guitar or something like that. I would recommend Craigslist first and foremost. Also because if you're like me, I don't trust the internet, so I prefer to be able to go and look at the thing in person and be able to touch it before I spend money on it. Something like eBay, I could possibly get something that's, I don't know, broken or whatever. So I would recommend checking Craigslist. If you're looking for cheaper keyboards, I feel like the companies, Casio, Roland, Yamaha, and Korg are going to be your friends. Although, at that price range, Casio and Roland are going to be easier to find. No, Casio and Yamaha. I can't recommend any specific models because now we're only talking about used stuff. I feel like if we're talking about new stuff, finding a keyboard for under $100 is going to be kind of hard. My first keyboard was about $30, but I did buy it from a thrift store, so I hope any of what I just said is helpful to you. Go to a music store and get a display keyboard, maybe. They go for much less than the original price, says Sam. This is true. This is true. If they sell them. Sometimes they won't sell it to you unless it's like the last one, unfortunately. But yeah, that technique is kind of dicey. However, this keyboard I'm playing on right now was a display model keyboard, but I didn't go with the intent of buying a display model keyboard. They just didn't have any more left in stock, and so I got this one. I think for like $70 off or something like that. Sam is being so helpful. Thank you, Sam, for helping me with this. I saw some that have a smaller amount of keys. Toast, if you're trying to learn how to play piano or keyboard, you're not just trying to mess around. If you're trying to actually be able to grow as, somebody that's able to use both hands and stuff like that, I wouldn't recommend getting anything smaller than 46 keys. I would recommend like in the 70 something key range and higher. Like this has 88 keys. This is not necessary. But I wouldn't recommend getting something smaller than, I think 76 is what I have over there. I will be playing Spring Street a little bit later, Izzy. Hopefully you don't leave and miss it, but I try to work into Spring Street. Oh, this smoothie is so good. Okay, so I started using orange juice instead of apple juice in the smoothies, and in the morning the orange juice is like, maybe it's just because I used to drink orange juice as a kid during breakfast, but something about the taste of orange wakes me up, and it's so much better than having the apple juice in the smoothie. It's just kind of like a more savory taste than like a tangy sweet. Good morning, Isidora. I saw a hawk in my neighborhood yesterday. The local crows were pissed and kept trying to chase it off, says Manny. Yeah, that used to happen to me too in that used to happen to me too in Arizona. The neighborhood I lived in Arizona had a lot of hawks. And not just the crows, most birds were pretty afraid of them. So sometimes you would see like aerial, I don't know, battles, dogfights? I don't know what you call it when two birds are fighting in midair. Sorry, I know this is not interesting to anybody else, but I just figured something out. Okay, wait. Okay. Wait. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to jump to French vanilla really quick because I think I found something that I can add to it. I remember I was once at the zoo and they were showing off an osprey. I hope I'm saying that right. An osprey. Then it flew off because crows started chasing it. It came back because it was trained. Or hold on. Sorry. Then to hmm hmm um. Why does this thing feel like it's leaking? Are you leaking? Are you broken? You can't be. Sam, I don't know if you were one of the earlier streams to know this, but I do not know music theory, so what you're saying doesn't make any sense to me. Hello, Gabriel, and good morning to you. I hope you are doing okay. I'm gonna start it over again. the direction that it's going. It still needs a proper name. I don't want it to remain named French Vanilla. So whoever can come up with a decent name for this song, they can have it. Although I can't promise to only play it when you come in streams unless you're pretty regular in the streams, because I do need to play this song pretty often in the coming days to commit it to memory. I kind of like, this is weird, but I like my hair like this with my transparent frames. I'm usually wearing my black frames on the stream. Maybe it's just change. Maybe I just like change. Anywho, I'm gonna leave this song for a second. This song's called Spring Street. You know what's funny, cuz I thought you had requested Witchy Song, and I was double checking the chat to see, to like confirm whether you had or not, and you hadn't. And then right after I had realized that, you asked for it. I need glasses, says Alpha. Is the optometrist still open? And during these times? Do you prefer context to glasses, Alpha? The Witchy Song does not have a name, cuz, if that's what you're talking about. Is today Friday? glasses that ones I'm wearing, there's these ones, which are exactly the same, just black. And then there's like these super super old. Like I moved to California with these, and they're super broken. Like the there's no form or shape of these. They've been broken and mended like a million times. Um, Alba says, "What made you get them big square like? Big like solid plastic frames. Hmm. Thick frames break less often if you have thicker framed glasses. And I used to get in a lot of fights when I was in high school. So my mom got tired of buying new glasses and constantly paying for repairs. So if you get bigger glasses like these, these glasses have fallen off of my face and been like stepped on, sat on like a million times, but they haven't broken. Smaller, I mean, less durable glasses. I mean, you get in one fight, somebody punches you in the face once, you can get your glasses broken. So, get bigger glasses. Mine were the generic thick rectangular ones, says Alpha. Interesting. I'm glad that Spring Streets cheered you up, Izzy. I do play it usually once it's streamed, but I know you have work, so you can't make it into streams as often as you once did. Word. Word out. Well, anywho, here's a song that Maddie named Jaybird Jump. Jumpin' Jaybird. It's gonna take me a while, Maddie. It's gonna take me at least a month. Jaybird Jump. There we go. How have we not turned this into like a recorded song yet? Because I do play that chord progression a lot. Ugh, Omni. That's not it. Okay. everybody in the stream because, or to everybody in the stream. I know that there's a lot of like me tunelessly humming along to things, trying to figure out exactly what I'm doing, and I know sometimes that can be discouraging to see somebody who has played piano this long still not really know what I'm doing. Is Sam still in the stream by any chance, or has Sam no longer with us? I had a question for Sam. Diz says they dig the shirt. Thank you, Diz. My friend made this shirt. There was actually, oh, you know what, Diz? You know, listen up. Listen up, Diz. I don't know if you can read this shirt. It's probably backwards. But it says Likido, Likido. There used to be a event series, like a show series in Los Angeles that was specifically for like people of color, queer artists, women. It was really cool. It was just for like marginalized groups, I suppose, and for performing. And anybody could go, anybody could pay to go. But as far as the performers were always people from marginalized groups. So, a pretty close friend of mine named Mark Rodita was the one that started the show series, and another friend of mine designed the merch for the series, and if you go on YouTube and you look up Likido, Likido, I guess you could type in Likido documentary or something. There's like a pretty cool little video about it where they interviewed a lot of the artists, and I was one of them. It was a few years ago, so my hair looks a little bit different. I was doing this weird like side thing where it was all going to one side. I don't know. It was a choice. But there's a documentary about it, and it was really cool. Also, if you look at Mark Rodita's, who is the man who started the series, if you look at his music video called You Only Love Me When I'm Gone. It's a pretty long song title, but I'm in the music video, and I'm driving this car from the shirt. And I'm also wearing this jacket that this person's wearing. I'm basically this person, but me. Anyways, that was enough of a side thing, but thank you for liking the shirt, Diz. There was a little bit of a story behind the shirt. This next song, since I just played a little excerpt from it, is called Room Cake. Thanks, Izzy. I appreciate that. I usually ask people to like the video. I did the last time, but every time I ask somebody to like the video, only one person will like it, which I guess just means I have to keep repeating myself. I don't know. There's 12 people in here. I have to say it 12 times. But yeah, liking the video actually helps me a lot, guys. So if you could do that. I don't know what that looks like on your end. I've actually never been in a YouTube stream, so I don't know how cumbersome or difficult it is to like the video. But if you could do that, that would be dope for me. Thank you. Have you ever tried racing, like in cars, illegally? I have not. I did try drifting because I was young and stupid, and I almost got in a car accident. Not with another car, mind you. I was doing it in an abandoned area, so no one was going to be injured except for me, but I almost was injured. I just didn't know what I was doing. I guess I just assume it's difficult, because even though even though Izzy said that, and I also said that, nobody else liked the video. Ooh, I will always love that. Nothing will ever make me not love that. Yo, this mine was forward wheel drive too. I was driving a Ford Escort at the time. Those Gucci chords I hear, those are not Gucci chords you hear. Darker. The Gucci chords are this. No, I was hitting. That's what I was hitting. And the Gucci chords are there's a few chords I feel like I always end up kind of coming back to and resting on. One of them is this. I love that chord. Hitting it specifically like that too. There's a lot of ways to hit that chord. I can hit it like that. I can just hit it like that. But I always hit it like that. I love that chord. Just good. Just good solid chords. Also, I feel like I often end up on this, but that's not strange. I think a lot of people do. That one. That's the last chord of Flight Plan, I think. Yeah. It was in a snowy parking lot after I was on a date with my girlfriend at the time, says Diz. I thought I was being so cool. And then understand. Oh my god, you were with your girlfriend when you tried to, drip? Jesus Christ. I didn't have a girlfriend at the time. Thank heavens for that. As you grow as an artist, you find things you love. It's inevitable. You would find chords you always want to play. It's weird though, Gabriel. It's not necessarily that I love the chord. It's more of a muscle thing. It's like a physical thing. For example, Gabriel, when I'm writing music on the computer, I almost never use like these chords, especially played like this. It's more of like a physical hand thing more than it is music, because usually I can't hear a song until I start playing it most of the time. Or even if I do hear it, I'll hear it in the wrong key or the wrong pitch. There are a few songs that I've just played over and over and over. Like I know Double X's. But in general, I'll go, ooh, there's a certain chord that I like to play because of the physical way it feels to my hands. Not necessarily the way it sounds. The way it sounds is kind of irrelevant. And so there are some times where I think about this chord, and it's like, where does that chord show up? Well, that chord shows up in key line. That chord shows up in catching up. That chord also shows up in into thin air. But those are all piano songs that I play. Songs that I actually write, like songs maybe that you've heard on Spotify, like anything from Daydream, anything from Nice Dream, Love Dream, Speed Dream, Lush Dream, Signals, etc. They don't have that chord in them because those songs weren't written on a piano. Like Bon Bon was not written on a piano. So there is this kind of weird disconnect between music that I write on piano and music that I write on the computer, because when I'm writing music on the piano, I'm specifically writing music that feels a certain way to my hands, or music that is within certain possibilities or realism, like a range. Which is why when I try to take songs from my piano and I put them on the computer, usually I'll end up taking away parts from the piano. For example, Flight Plan. It sounds like this on piano. If you go listen to the recorded version of Flight Plan, it doesn't sound anything like that, because on the recorded version, the piano is only going like this. That's all it does. This part, that bass line is not in the piano. The piano is just this. So usually when I take music from the piano to put it into Fruity Loops, or I'm going to be arranging it, I will take out parts of the piano and I will give them to other instruments, and I will diversify and disperse the arrangement. Also, Likewise, when I'm taking music that I've written on the computer and I try to make a piano version of it, usually it ends up lacking other parts, and the piano has to become a little bit more fleshed out. For example, when I play the song Close Down, a lot of these chords and this art that I'm playing with my left hand doesn't actually exist in the song. Just because if I played it the way it appears in the song, it would be very, very boring and very bland. And it actually wouldn't have those complex of chords. It would have simpler chords, like here and here, instead of here and here. Also, another thing is the chords I'm going to be playing on the computer are very different than the chords that I would hit with my own hands, because they're not simply, they're chords that sound nice and not chords that sound nice that are also realistic and comfortable for a human hand to be playing. A good example of this, and I won't play the whole thing because Lindsay isn't here, and this is a song I usually only play when Lindsay is present in the stream. Hello and good morning, Bro Rose. Is Vanilla, which is sorry. The reason that I have to hesitate while playing that song so often, unfortunately still, is because a lot of these chords, this and that, are not chords that I would play. They feel very weird to my hands because they're not naturally where my hands want to go. The reason that I even made these chords is because I was simply holding a mouse and going like, and holding down notes and going, add that one, add that note here, add that note here, and I wasn't thinking about the way that it would have to be played. I was thinking about how weird, crap, where was it? I wasn't thinking about how weird those chords would feel to my hands. Even that chord is and that's the cool thing though about it, is because sometimes writing music on the piano will open up new chords for me. Like this chord in general is very interesting to me. I guess it's that, whatever that is. But taking out that note and just playing an octave down there is not a chord that I would play very often. And then going from yeah, what the heck? A lot of that song is very weird, and it doesn't make a lot of sense to me as a piano player because I didn't write it on piano. And so there are certain things that I do on piano a lot just because for my hands they make sense. Yesterday's stream, I talked about. Hold on, pause on what I'm saying. Gabriel says, in a way, do you think that there's more of a raw way to make music? It goes directly from your head. Okay. Do you think that that's more of a raw way to make music? It goes directly from your head into what you want rather than having to go through the translation of what your hands want to do. This is definitely leaking. I think this thing is broken. No, don't be like that. Sorry. You asked me a question, a very good one, actually. I just really hope that I didn't somehow break this. I mean, I guess I can always buy a new one. Okay.
is that in a way more raw way to make music. What's the name of that sound? It's just an electric piano, Izzy. But I mean, no electric piano is gonna sound the same, right? So this Yamaha has like I don't know, like electric piano one, electric piano two, electric piano three. It's just an electric piano. But to get back to Gabriel's question, is it in essence a more raw way to make music? It's a good. That's a good theory, or it's a good point. A more raw way to make music because it isn't going through the constraints. I would say that if we're measuring rawness in music, from idea to what you hear, you guys, as people who hopefully listen to my music, are never hearing what I hear when I'm writing the music. A lot of limitations happen, right? I could be hearing an orchestra, but since I don't have an orchestra at my disposal, I have to make do with what tools I have. I can hear something really complicated. Whoa. I was hiccuping, and this chord sounded really weird because of the whole, like. Anyways, sorry. Stay focused. Because I don't like when I'm hearing music in my head, I'm hearing a bunch of different like ghost notes and stuff like that. That sometimes when I play them or even arrange them, I can't exactly find exactly the sound that I wanted. So you have to make do with whatever I have. Sometimes I'll hear, like I said, a full orchestra. Sometimes I'll hear a certain type of drum, and I'll get as close as I can, but I can't get that raw or pure, uncut idea out because it has to pass through so many avenues. And so, if we're measuring ideas on rawness and how edited they have to become in order to be translated into the real world or to you guys, I would say yes, making music on the computer is a more raw way of making music. We are all kind of limited, right? We're all limited. Hold on. Diz says, do you think we will ever get to a point technologically where all you need to do is think of a specific melody using a specific instrument and a DAW will be able to translate it into MIDI? I do not think that we will get there. Um, Diz. No. And the reason that I don't think that we will get there is because I think that human thought is very, very complicated, and something as abstract as a frequency, like musical notes, I don't know. I don't see it. Now that doesn't mean that it'll never happen. It just doesn't. I don't see it at all. Something like being able to speak something in your computer makes sense to me. Um, I just, at least as far as my brain goes, it's so difficult for me to hone in on a specific thought without like all of the noise around that I can't even focus in sometimes on that. So I don't know how a completely third out of body party is supposed to go and like parse through all of the noise in my head and pick out one like D flat and go like, ah, yes, we got it. I don't know. I don't see that. Nor do I necessarily want to see that. There's this thing. Gabriel says your mind is way too messy for that to happen. Ah, Gabriel is on the same page I am. Word up, word up. I think, though, I think. Oh no. I don't want to turn this into like an old head argument, especially since I haven't been playing that much in this stream. But I think the sad thing about possibly getting there technologically is that there is a very important thing that's being removed, and a relationship with your instrument. And that doesn't even necessarily have to be a piano or a guitar. It can be a laptop, but a relationship with your instrument and the tactile procedure of actually making music, I think is very, very important to making music. And I think that if we got to a point where all you had to do was think of a song and the song would exist, artistry would suffer greatly. In the same way as like if I could just go like Mount Everest and then think it and then on the page like a beautifully painted rendition of Mount Everest would appear, I I think that art would suffer if that's what people were doing. I think that being able to go into your imagination or your brain and translate that is the skill, right? Some one skill is being able to imagine things, right? Having an imagination. Me being able to kind of go like, for like French vanilla and hear where I want the song to go next. Being able to hear melody and come up with melody is important. But much more important, well, I won't say more, but at least equally as and differently important skill is being able to take the ideas from your head and translate them into the world, the real world, from abstract to real, I guess, to and I think that if somebody were just able to think something and then the thing would exist, it would take out that extremely important tactile skill. The skill that the muscle that we work out every day, the muscle of somebody going like, I have a vision of a building. Now I'm going to build it. The now I'm going to build it part is so important and something that has to be worked on. That's when you think about artists or you think about any technician or producer or builder, you it's not necessarily the imagination that's the whole kit and caboodle. It's the ability to be able to take things from the imagination and make them real. It's very very difficult to do, and people spend like years and years and years being able to get better at that. So if you could only imagine something and the thing would be real, it completely squashes that skill. Okay. Maddie says there's also a beauty in the times when you can't actually translate the creative thoughts to reality and the results in mistake or something you didn't expect. Yeah, I mean, that happens to me all the time, Maddie. Oh my god. As somebody who doesn't know music theory, I constantly have to like waddle my way through music arrangements, and sometimes I will end up making a mistake. There's a point in that French Vanilla song where I go, but I messed up one time playing it, and I went, and I was like, well, that's the wrong note, but I do like the way that sounds, so I added it in where it goes. And I'm sure there's a music theory, explanation for what that is or what I'm doing, but I don't know that. So that was a mistake, and it ended up being great. Sometimes it's nice to not be able to, I mean, translate things perfectly, or make mistakes. Sometimes that can fit in. The thing is, you actually have the picture in your head. You have very choppy segments, and you think makes sense. Part of making something is figuring out how something really works. This is true. This is true. Um, Lavender would be a good name for that song, says Cause. Oh, that would be a pretty good name for that song. Gabriel says you can close your eyes and imagine a spaceship, but you wouldn't actually know how every part of it would work together, every wire, every piece. This is true, Gabriel. I'm with you on this. Hmm. I think I think a lot of people are not. A lot of people just don't realize that. A lot of people discredit this. And the reason I know a lot of people discredit this is because a lot of people will say something like, I wish I could play piano. You're really lucky on me that you can make music. I wish I could make music. And I think that it has nothing to do with luck. It's just everybody has an imagination. Maybe you don't imagine music. Maybe you imagine pictures. Maybe you imagine movies. Maybe you imagine comic books or whatever. But everybody has an imagination. And some of us spend hours and weeks and years figuring out how to translate those thoughts, those subconscious thoughts, into a real world so that other people can see them. Because if people could just see inside my brain, there would be no need for me to learn how to play piano or learn how to produce. But people can't see the things that I can see, so this is me trying to put them in a place where people can actually experience them. And so, I don't think I ever want to get to a point where people can instantly have the gratification of, oh, my imagination is real now. There's been times where I've had, like, and I'm not the only person, there's been a lot of times in my life where I've thought, it would be so nice if I could just take a pill and know a foreign language, you know? If I could just, like, go, like, if there was, like, little test strips where I was like, this is Chinese, yum, 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 now I'm fluent. Like, there's been so many times where I just wanted to cut out the middleman of the tireless years it would take to learn a new language, but, sometimes work's important, you know. Having work ethic, I mean, that's how the world go around. Anywho, I don't know how we got here. I think it was just like, I don't even know if that was a serious question or it was like, how would I feel if we were able to technologically just, I don't know, like fart songs into existence by thinking of them. A Jason Thought says this: when I was in school, I always got good grades, and people would always say, wow, you're so smart. How do you do so well? Yeah, people like to cut out work ethic a lot of the time. Maddie says, this is exactly what I say when people tell me I wish I could draw. People don't like to hear that. People don't like to hear that. Because people want to believe that you're born with something. Oh, I've talked about this in so many streams. Somebody just replay, I don't know, episode 46 or whatever I said this in. Believing other people are unreachably great is not necessarily a compliment to the other person. It's an excuse for yourself. Because if I say, wow, Maddie's so good at art, Maddie was just born talented, it's a way of telling myself, there's no point in even trying because I wasn't born talented, so why even bother? It's like a way to tell myself I don't need to work. And I think that does make people feel good when they say, oh my god, you're so gifted. It is essentially saying, wow, you really won the lottery. Because if somebody wins the lottery, I mean, it literally is just a luck-based thing. I can't work really hard and win the lottery. I had an amazing art teacher, says Maddie. My art teacher is dead. But he was also amazing. Who pointed out that everyone can draw. It's one of the earliest human instincts. Oh, is mark making. Oh, interesting, Maddie. I mean, what is art but telling stories? And telling stories is all we have. Well, that was sad. I mean, I feel like telling stories is kind of all we have. Ooh. All my songs are just stories. This song's about a witch. That's the story of the witchy song. I gotta add a second phase to this song. I think talent doesn't work how most people think it does, says Gabriel. Learning a skill is not linear. A lot of people tend to think your starting point foretells your ending point and fear picking it up. Yeah, people are stupid that way, Gabriel. Not an evil one, just one that loves annoying and inconvenient. inconveniencing everyone around her, says Cause, describing the witch that this song is about. Like Team Rocket. Team Rocket was the first, and so I often use Team Rocket as an example of a unthreatening villain. Like somebody that just shows up, maybe messes up the plans, they go away, they don't actually kill anybody, they're not doing anything really. Their goals are stupid and unimportant. They're more funny than they are threatening, but also very annoying. But yeah, talent does not work the way most people think it does, Gabriel. I also think that something important about talent is that people think you are good. You're just good at a thing. I'm kind of bad at everything, especially in like comparison. Also, I've gone from being good at some things to being bad at them. I've gone from being bad at things to being less bad at them. I used to be very, very good at Street Fighter Third Strike, and I think I'm still probably pretty good. But if I picked it up today, not nearly as good as I used to be. And I think that if somebody says, you're a good piano player," you almost need context. There's people that have been playing piano for 3 years that are able to play more complicated songs than I'm able to play. There's been people that have been playing piano for as long as me that have never written a song, simply play, jazz records and stuff like that. So I don't know, it's hard. As an artist, talent is just an abstract idea of how we think skill works. I mean, skill makes sense, but skill in even of itself is kind of, what is it? What is skill? We have to have a goal, right, to have skill. Oh my god. Yo, art makes zero sense, and we keep trying to make it make sense, but it doesn't. I don't think you can have skills in art without like a specific goal. Maybe if you're trying to play really fast, then it's like, oh, what a skilled piano player. Listen to how fast they play, but I don't even know what skilled is. I think the skill that I'm trying to work out most of the time is being able to take things from my head and play them on piano. I don't really care about being a good piano player. I don't even, I don't identify as a pianist at all, because I feel like if I have to identify as a pianist, then I'm comparing myself to a lot of pianists, which I don't think that I would do well with. I think I'm just somebody that makes music, and not necessarily somebody that plays piano. Something my high school baseball coach would say, says Diz, is that everyone wants the results, but nobody wants to do the work to get them. I would agree with this. Dark Rose says, Omni, can you play any other songs that aren't yours? No, I don't really do covers, Dark Rose. That's a good question, though. Sometimes the goal is to just enjoy yourself, says Maddie. Yeah, it's just, whatever you want to do. If you're just trying to enjoy yourself, then, and you're doing it, you're enjoying yourself, then you're extremely skilled at enjoying yourself. There are a few songs I want to play before I end the stream, because most of this second half of the stream has been talking for me, which is good. I tend to enjoy streams where I'm talking more than playing. So thank you guys for that. Art's just art. This song is called Clover Salad. Isidora named it, I believe. Hello, John. You have missed the entirety of the stream. So what's going down? The ending of the stream. I hope you've had a good morning, though, John, if it is indeed morning where you are. And I hope you have a good Friday planned ahead. Gabriel says, having a goal is the purpose of everything. Sports, science, art. Even if you say you work out randomly, you still do it through a specific workout, says Gabriel. Some things I do without a goal, but maybe not having a goal is the goal. I don't know. We could get a little too existential there. Maybe the goal is having fun, or the goal is not having a purpose. In which case, I am succeeding in that. I skateboarded far beyond my expiration of skateboarding. I skateboarded and I got pretty good, and then I just kind of stopped caring, and I kept skateboarding, and I actually had to like look myself in the mirror and go, Omni, why are you doing this? It's time to put the board away. And I put my boards away, and I haven't skateboarded in like over a year, and I feel great. Anyways, Brownstein is here. Hello, Brownstein. I just finished a song called Clover Salad. As far as news, guys, if you've been coming into the stream since the quarantine, you know that news has been sparse, to say the least. There's no new shows because we're in lockdown. There's no new music because I'm still promoting the music that I did just release. There's no merch coming out because of the lockdown. And there's also not any tour dates to announce. As far as songs, I did release a song very recently called The View. Check out The View. It's on all streaming platforms. Also, but it's a single, I should say. It is a single, and it is on a compilation CD called Lazarus with a lot of other artists that I'm a fan of and friends of. I'm sorry to hear that, Brownstein. I'm sorry to hear that. Okay. Oh, thank you, Gabriel. Yeah, the morning streams are still happening. I'm still here. I haven't gone anywhere. The streams are still happening. My first skateboard I bought at a yard sale, and it was like 80s old school one that had plastic trucks as this. Well, I hope that you got some joy out of it. As far as music, I have 2 EPs. One is called Ego Death. The other one is called Quick Breath. Quick Breath is a little bit more of like an up and danceable house, like 125 to 130 BPM thing. I sing on most of the tracks. If you don't like my singing voice, I apologize. You should listen to it anyway. I also have another one called Ego Death. Ego Death is more ambient. It was an experiment. I was trying to make more ambient music because I had this little keyboard called a Yamaha Reface CP that has a analog delay on it, which is very, very, very integral in making ambient music. If you are at all interested in making ambient music or like chill down tempo stuff, experiment in analog delay and use it as a looper pedal. I've done a few tutorials and videos explaining how to do that here actually in the morning medleys. But Ego Death and Quick Breath can be found on Bandcamp, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Google Play, Amazon MP3, Tidal, Groove, Deezer, Pandora, Napster, and YouTube. Since you're on YouTube right now, I do have some videos that I've released here too. The most recent one is called Honeydew. It's part of my Quarantine series where I'm just putting up little random things that I make during the quarantine. Also, I have some videos that I've recorded for Into Thin Air and Hush Hour. Both of those were recorded in China while I was out there, so check those out. And then, of course, I'm here every weekday morning for the morning medley. We're here at 9 a.m. I do it for usually about an hour. Sometimes I go over. Today is one of those times. But thank you, everybody who makes the time to come in the mornings. It does mean a lot. And if you can't make the streams because you have work or because, well, I would say school, but I don't think most of the people that come in the streams have school right now because of the state of the country. But if you don't have, school or work, I do appreciate you for coming in. If it is an inconvenient time for you, the reason I moved over to YouTube is because they save the streams so you can watch them later if you want to catch up on stuff. But yeah, that's it. Somebody asked what the sound you play is. Isn't default piano usually saw or sin or a mix? Says Gabriel. Let me break this down for a second. Gabriel says, somebody asks what the sound you play is. Isn't default piano usually saw or sine or a mix? What are you asking? Gabriel, are you asking me if the sound of a piano is a mixture of a saw wave and a sine wave? What? I remember something along those lines, says Gabriel. I'm not sure, Gabriel, what the like sonic information of a piano is. I know that like an electric piano is more of a sine wave sound because it's like a lot smoother. Interesting. That song is called Hush Hour. The music video for it is here on my YouTube. If you, oh my God, he went out to get food. Is that Popeyes? Yo, this quarantine sucks. All my, sorry. That's Popeyes. I knew it. Oh crap, what was it? Sorry. Thank you for being respectful to me and polite to each other. I appreciate you guys. It's the internet, so people aren't always nice. This stream was rambunctious. Thank you guys for being very talkative too. It was nice to actually participate in it and that you guys had some pretty good questions. There's Isidora. There she is. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. And it's Friday. Oh, so I'm not gonna see you guys tomorrow. Oh, that's sad. Maybe I'll do like a production stream or something. Who knows? Maybe I'll do something, but we'll see. In the meanwhile, please enjoy your weekend, guys. I'll try to be a little bit more on top of my Instagram stories because I haven't really been posting anything there. It's been kind of a weird week. Word up. Hi, everybody. Mm-hmm.